Wow. Daniel Abt has been suspended by Audi with immediate effect after cheating in the Race at Home challenge after he used a sim racer to do the race for him. We sort of explained it in the FEZ show yesterday that he was playing with fire, as we've seen drivers lose sponsors and drives from saying inappropriate things or just rage quitting in which was the case for Bubba Wallace, and now Daniel Abt joins that list of drivers who have sort of fallen out of favour during this sort of esport era. But let's face it, Audi had no choice. If they stuck with Abt, they were basically endorsing a cheater, and that's no good for the brand and its sponsors. So they had to take action. A lot of people have been saying, it's too harsh. It was only a joke. But unfortunately, Abt is in a position where, he's representing a brand. And if you bring that brand or Audi into disrepute, then you're going to have to face the consequences. We've had the privilege of, speaking to Abt over these past few seasons. And he is a good guy. Like, no shadow of doubt, he's a great guy. I have a lot of time for him. He has a lot of time for us when we were, doing interviews and stuff. He's a great guy. But unfortunately, he's made an error here. Yes, you can probably understand why he's done it, but at the same time, he has brought Audi into disrepute. He's brought the series into disrepute, and you've got to face the consequences of that. And the consequences of that means he has now lost his drive because he has been suspended with immediate effect. Audi have basically stated that he won't be in the car if this season does resume. He will not be in the car. So that's it. He was on a rolling 12-month contract, and that's it. It'll be terminated, and then he'll have to look for another drive. And it's probably unlikely now that Daniel Abt will get a drive in Formula E, because it's probably too soon to employ him because of what he's done. So that means if he's going to continue his racing career, he'll have to look elsewhere. But whether or not, obviously he's a driver who has a lot of Formula E experience, and maybe one day he might be able to come back in. I'm not saying that his FE career is over, but it's taken a big hit by just not being here. So, Daniel, is tough. I understand. There's a lot of people, as I say, are seeing that joke side, are seeing why, and are a bit annoyed thinking this has gone a step too far, but you have to understand that he's basically brought Audi into disrepute. Audi don't want to endorse a cheater, so they had to take action. So I suppose that's it. That's just a really breaking news. So what's going to happen now? So Audi are going to have to look for a driver, obviously, to replace Abt. Kelvin van der Linde is probably a name that will be widely sort of touted with that seat now, because obviously he's done a lot of testing in Formula E with Audi, did the Marrakesh test recently, so he could be a name that could finish the season if the season does get underway. So, but obviously it's just still really early. You could have anyone. Rene Rast, for example, could be in. They could maybe promote, a driver from within Formula E. They could promote Nico Müller, who we were touting as a driver that could be in that Audi seat very soon. They could move him from Dragon. That means Dragon would have to find another driver. Or they could even, Robin Freins is an Audi driver that obviously with Audi leaving DTM now, there's a host of Audi drivers actually in Formula E already. Maybe Robin Freins gets the call up to go to from Virgin, which is the customer team of Audi, to the actual Audi team. So there are lots of possibilities now in terms of what could happen with Audi in terms of actually moving forward and pressing on. But just going back very quickly to Daniel Abt, and obviously it's a shame. Great guy, but he's made an error, and he had to pay the price for that error, which is unfortunate for his case. But obviously the series will move on. It just shows how serious, this Race at Home challenge is, and how, serious that these drivers have to take these esports events. And if, Formula E says you all need to be there, you all need to race, you all need to represent the championship, then you all need to do that. You can't go and make a joke and put a sim racer in just to have a better performance and do it as a joke to say, oh look, see, I was really good, and hoping that it would go his way. You can't do that, and he's paid the price, and that's it really. So that's this sort of news sort of video that has come up from today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to come talk about it, the Discord channel at the moment is on fire with lots of Daniel Abt speculation in terms of what will happen now, what could happen next. It's popping off right now. That's why my phone, I think, just vibrated. Discord is going mad. So come and join us in the link below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.